Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated conversation with everybody knows, but now the Whale Certified Nation is going to know. Mike Gallo, ladies and gentlemen. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes, you did. Just like the wine, Gallo.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that nice introduction, Kevin. I got to admit, I haven't had an interview since the IRS was my last one. So, hopefully, this one goes a lot smoother.
Absolutely. Please don't bring the heat, baby. Don't bring the heat around here. So the upshot of the situation is that everybody that I've ever, they said, you know Mike Gallo? I said, no, I don't know the guy. I don't know. What? Like, come on. And then finally, when just out of, the universe brought us together was Pat Holly. Did I get that name right?
Potts? Sure did.
Okay.
Yep. Very good friend, college teammate, Avalanche teammate. Yep.
Absolutely. And they said, hey, you got to get Mike Gallo. They're like twins. I said, what? And there you were at that luncheon we were at. And baba boom, baba bang, the universe brought us together. Mike, it's been a long time coming, man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the kind words, Kevin. But there's a saying out there: a player is only as good as the players around them, and I'm a firm believer in it. And, unless you're Messi, Ronaldo, or Pelé, you needed 10 other guys on that field. So I was very blessed to play with.
Yes, you were.
Tons of good footballers through my career. So,
and they have all said to a person that they were happy that they were a teammate of yours. You were a good teammate to everybody.
Well, again, I appreciate that. I tried to be a good sport, as well as a great teammate, and never pointed fingers, and we were one strong unit. Is the way I tried to approach it.
Right. And you were a midfielder, right, baby?
Correct. Primarily, it depended on the system we played. It could have been center mid or, maybe one of the wing mids, but primarily it was the center mid, yes.
Yeah. So there you go.
Although I did play sweeper for, I think, one game at Quincy, and I think the coach found out he's better in the midfield, being 5'6" on a good day. So
all right.
Yes,
yeah,
midfielder, yeah.
Well, on Mary Mother's Feast and the election of a new pope, it comes to where you can you bring us back to when you were in the Ascension Parish, and they told you, Mike, you're going to have to take it easy. You're going to have to be walking around with here's the crutches to get around. But because when I heard that story, my jaw dropped.
Sure, yeah, that was something I'll never forget, obviously. But yeah, I'll try to give you the Cliff Notes version. When I was 6, maybe 7 years old, my parents noticed I was walking with a limp, and they took me into a doctor, and basically his diagnosis was I had a hip disease called Perthes, and it's where the thigh bone is really soft at the upper end, where the thigh bone goes into the hip socket, and it wasn't, growing properly, and it's really a pretty rare disease. Mainly affects young males, like from age 12 and younger. And um, the best treatment is to reduce the pressure on that bone. And actually, depending on the doctor, there was different forms of treatment. Some doctors would put a kid in a long walking cast, like from the waist down. Um, but my doctor came up with a treatment where I wore a belt, and the belt had a strap, and the strap was attached to my shoe, and so there would be no weight bearing on that leg, and then would use crutches. So I was able to be mobile, with the crutches, but just had to make sure wasn't putting any weight on that left leg. So that's what he prescribed, and that's what I did for I think maybe 3 years.
Wow.
And after a while, you get to learn how to operate those crutches.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and then I was fine after that. I never had an issue. After I got off the crutches, and then I was able to play childhood sports with everybody else. That was probably fifth grade. I think fifth grade before I got to play, baseball and CYC soccer. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that was
Well,
it's part of my story.
well, under full disclosure, did you ever do a one-legged flip with the crutches?
I did not. I did
Uh,
not. But they weren't wooden. They were made out of metal.
oh, is that right?
And yeah, so if anybody tried to mess with me, they were going to get a tap, with the metal crutch.
Not aluminum. These were metal, huh?
No, these were metal, man. This was,
Wow.
1960s. So
Wow, baby. So there you go. And how the story went is that a mutual friend of ours, you two were playing in a high school game, and he told his mom, "Hey, Mom, that's Mike Gallo. You remember him from saying, holy cow." So you really were quite the story, the star up in Ascension and everywhere you went afterwards.
well, like I say, I was. I'm not going to deny I was a good player with talent, but star might be too strong of a term. But I appreciate it, Kevin.
Right on, right on. Yeah. Well, to get you there, you went to high school. You moved from the north end to the south end, and you were with Vianney.
Correct.
Now,
Correct. Yeah, we moved. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
But yeah, when I was 10, we moved from North County to South. I was in the Ascension Parish, and then we moved to Crestwood, which was Our Lady of Providence Parish. So I finished out grade school there, and then went to Vianney High School. Correct.
So the story goes is that can you give us the years of your time at Vianney and the championships you won?
I was at Vianney from 1974 to 1977. But we did not, when I was there, we did not win a state championship. We made it, my sophomore year, we made it to the semifinals of state and lost to McClure North, who ended up winning the state that year. And then the following year, we made it to the state final, my junior year, and lost to Aquinas in the state final, who had an all-world team. So, I mean, I could name probably 8 guys that were incredible players on that team. But no, I never won one at Vianney, but I was at Quincy. I was fortunate to be on 4 of them there, national championships.
Well, there you go. Yeah, and that's why you're well certified. Is that unbeknownst to me, until Pat Holly spoke up, you guys won 4 in a row.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was surreal after the fourth one. I mean, you win one. I mean, Quincy had won quite a few before we got there, but
Right.
we won our freshman year, we won our sophomore year, we won the junior year, and then, we were like, hey, we have the unique opportunity to win 4 in a row, and there were 6 of us, Kevin, that played on all 4 teams and can say
Wow.
we were on 4. So it's incredible. I don't think it's ever been duplicated, but even if it has, it was still quite a special thing.
Well, for Wales Certified Nation, for trivia answers, can you? We know 2. Can you name the other 4?
Oh, sure. Obviously, Pat Holly is one of them.
Right.
Uh, who went to Rosary, and a buddy of his that went to Rosary, Mike Cosman, was one. Tom Kozlowski, who went to the Smet, is another one. Gary Hampel, who played at Vianney with me, and then Quincy, obviously. And the last one is Matt Longo from Quincy, Illinois. He was the 6th one. That was 6, right?
Boom. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Matt Longo from Quincy fame.
Longo. Yeah, his dad,
Yeah.
Frank Longo. Yep.
Right.
Very
Yeah.
involved in soccer. And
Baseball, football, all kinds of sports.
yeah.
Wow, man. Wow.
Yeah,
Man. I mean, do you guys call each other every once in a while and say, hey, man, we won 4 in a row?
Well, we're all on a text chain that,
Yeah.
we're constantly communicating. And, of course, we've got a picture of us. In fact, got a picture of us from 1981 from when we won the 4th. And a couple of years ago, we took another picture of us and compared it. And we look a little different, as you can imagine.
Well, under full disclosure, is there a place somewhere that John Schneider's name is scribbled on the wall somewhere? Oh.
No comment.
Okay. All right. So the whole story is, I mean, you are all family there. When you're a Hawk from Quincy, man,
Sure.
you got to forget about the secret handshake. It's, way, bro, way to go. And so then you don't stop there, man. You go to play for the Denver Avalanche. Do you get drafted, or you go up there to try out for the team? How did that all happen?
Actually, Pat Holly and myself got drafted. We actually finished college in December. We went to summer school and finished our classes December of our senior year. And in the event we got drafted, we wouldn't have to leave school. And by God, it worked out. We actually got drafted by the Cleveland Force. And shortly after that, we got a phone call and said, you've been traded to the Denver Avalanche. So we never even went to Cleveland. We went, once we got news of it, we went to Denver and signed on there and got to play with 4 or 5 other St. Louisans who were already there. Some of these names: Tim Walters, Richie Wardak, Dan Musenfecter, who also played for the Steamers. Actually, Timmy Walters played for the Steamers too. Mike Freitag. So yeah, we had like 6 guys from St. Louis on Denver, and that's how it happened.
And I met through soccer coaching a guy named Cello. You,
Yep.
yeah.
Cello Curie was from, I think, New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. He
Wow.
was he was on the team and coached high school in Colorado for many many years, and
Yeah.
would come to St. Louis with his team
Right.
to play in a big high school tournament.
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
Gallo Curie.
Yeah. They still have it, but they have it out in North Dakota somewhere. I mean, you're talking about like a field of dreams, the field of nowhere. They're out there. Yeah. The high school all-star game.
Right. Yeah. I used to be at CBC for many years.
Yeah, right. So here we go. Now we got the situation where you're going to Denver, you become a professional. You look, you and Pat know each other. How do you get involved? Do you follow the coach's orders and talk through that? Or do you say, hey, I like the ball on my left foot for the outside, give me a little touch? Okay. Do you have any of those types of conversations?
No, the coach had a couple assistants, and like I said, I was a midfielder. Potts was pretty much a forward when it came to the indoor game, and it was the first year for the team, so it was a bunch of young. I'd say the oldest guy in the team. It might have been Cello, and he might have been like 26. We were.
To
There was
this
a lot
day,
of other guys on the team
to
just out
this
of
day,
college.
to this day, he doesn't have a birth certificate. He doesn't know how old he is.
Yeah, I believe it.
He's a jewel of a fella. I can imagine, being with him for a season. Holy cow!
Yeah, yeah, he was Bruce Springsteen every day. He just played Bruce every day in the car in his apartment.
So this indoor, did you ever have any time to adjust? Say like in the St. Louis with Just for Kicks or the Delwood or down south Concord or anything. Did you ever play with the boards before?
Yes. I mean, before the first indoor facility, which I believe was Just for Kicks, Tom Twellman
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
We'd play hot sock. Whether it was on grass outside or in a gymnasium.
Okay.
I mean, we'd play, hot sock all the time. But yeah, I played up at Just for Kicks. When that first opened,
Yeah.
definitely. Yep, that was for a while. That was the only one, and then there's a bunch of other ones that
Right.
that
Right.
came to be.
So when you go from amateur to professional, did you just use the Gallo recipe, or did you get an attorney?
I'm sorry, I can't divulge that information.
Oh, okay. All right
Yeah,
then. All right.
there's
I,
a lot of gallows
I understand. I understand.
in the underworld. So I got.
Oh well, I was just talking with the grapes. That's okay. So the whole story comes out is that you're there, you're fresh and new. I mean, Rocky Mountain High was playing, and there you are. Did you get was this goosebumps coming out for the lineup or playing? How was the atmosphere?
Oh yeah, it was. I had to pinch myself, Kevin. Ever since I was a young kid, everybody wants to. Not everybody, but a lot of people want to make it to the professional ranks, and and it didn't matter. We didn't make much money, but it didn't matter. We were out there playing a game we loved and getting paid whatever we got paid.
Yeah.
But and that was Denver's first year. And I think other than the Steamers, I think we had the highest attendance in the league.
Nice.
I mean, Steamers were far and away the largest attendance, but we had, 10, 12,000 we would get. And,
Yeah.
there was, they had hockey and basketball. Well, they had the Denver Broncos too, but.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, Mile High.
Right.
But what about when you traveled to St. Louis? Were they on your schedule at all?
Yes. Yep. Yep. We played, we were in the same conference, so we probably played I'm trying to remember, at least 2 or 3 times a year, I think. Yes.
Wow.
Either home or away. Yep.
Yeah. And can you enlighten us? Was it something or what?
Oh yeah, it was incredible. I mean, both teams. I mean, most Steamers were all St. Louis, with the exception of a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Emilio John, who, by the way, was one of the great players I played with at Quincy.
Oh yeah.
Was on the Steamers. And maybe I guess Carl Rose wasn't from St. Louis.
No.
Slobo, that might have been it.
Yeah. Right. So the deal with Emilio John, did he? Was he a guy that scored goals, or was he a goal scorer?
He scored a lot of goals. He's at Quincy. He's in the top. Oh, he's maybe like number 2 or 3 on Quincy's all-time scoring list. And then, he scored a bunch for the Steamers too.
Yeah,
he was very, very skillful, quick, and had a good shot. I mean, he had everything you needed to score goals.
Yeah.
And, yep.
And you just passed out peaches to those types of guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the ball. Go score.
There you go. Yeah. So here you go. You got all that. And how long did it last?
Well, Denver only lasted 2 years.
All right.
So I was about a year and a half because, I got there mid-year, first year, because I was, was still, the season started in the fall, and, I had to finish school.
Right.
Mid-year. So, so that was that. And then I tried out a couple of other places. Didn't work out. So I decided to, got into coaching, doing camps, clinics, worked at Concord Soccer Club, which is now one of the Bettas, and did that for a while, 4 or 5 years. And then I decided, hey, I guess I better get a quote unquote real job. And, got into the business world and, did that until about 5 years ago. So
nice. So the whole operation goes is that not to, I don't want to upset you or anything, but can you tell us all to bring us back to the time you tried out? What if you knew now what you knew then, or something like that? What do you think a tryout should be? How should one approach it?
Well, it wasn't really. I mean, I guess it wasn't really quote unquote a tryout because I was, got traded to them. But the places that I did try out later, some of them were legit, and others it was a PR stunt. I mean, they'd have 200 people there. Some guy showing up in blue jeans to try out. There was no vetting of any of the people that wanted to try out. It was, like I say, it was. But
off the couch onto a tryout, is that
right? And looking back, you asked what what I do different. I really wanted to play outdoor soccer.
Uh-huh.
I mean, indoor was great, because I got to play it, but I wish I could have played somewhere outdoors. And if I had to do it over again, I think I might, you know, try out, work a little harder to find some tryouts for an outdoor team. But
Yeah.
Hindsight's 2020. But
Right, right.
no complaints. But that's
Yeah.
one slight thing I might do different.
Yeah, a lot of guys seem to go with the ASL.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. In fact, Emilio John played. I can't remember who he played for, but he played in the ASL, I think, before the Steamers. And my older brother, I have an older brother that lives in Seattle. He actually played in the ASL.
Nice.
Tacoma had a team way back when. They didn't. I think they folded.
Yeah.
After a year or two, but.
So did you the coaching just didn't allow you financially to go, or did you find it wanting?
Yeah, it was pretty much a financial decision, Kevin. I mean, I continued to play. Even after I got out of the coaching, I continued to play. In the senior leagues around town, and then when I had kids, my son played, so I did get back into coaching, quite a bit later. But yeah, at that point, it was pretty much a financial decision to, find a different career path.
Yeah. Did you win any national championships as an amateur with the, with the over 30, over 40, this and that?
I did not. I played on. I played for Ziegenhain, and then I played for Kudus. And 1 year for Kudus, we lost. I think it was the semifinals. But no, and I played over 30 with Kudus, and we didn't win the national championship, but I did play on those teams, and they were very good teams. But
yeah, they were, weren't they? I mean,
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
in a real sense, if financial restraints were lifted, that over 30 team could beat some professional teams anytime, anywhere.
Oh yeah, we had. I would say most of the team we had was guys that former professionals. I mean, well, my friend Pat Holly played. I think Tony Glavin was on the team at one point.
A guy shorter than you.
Yeah, how about that? You didn't think that was possible, but.
And I was told that he had elevator lifts in his shoes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So, Mike, I mean to tell you, man, you've went through it all as a St. Louis player, and you know that I know that you know, and everybody else knows. You're well certified for without a doubt. And
well, I appreciate it, Kevin. I was a soccer junkie when I was a kid. I'd go out in the yard and juggle for hours. Our grade school had a kick wall. I'd go up there and
wow,
bounce it off the wall for hours. I had a tether ball in my garage that I could practice head balls on, although obviously I wasn't a stalwart in the air, but I just always had a ball, doing something with it, and I wish more kids would do that these days. But you got video games and cell phones and all sorts of other activities. I don't know how much that's going on. I'm sure there's some of it going on, but when I was a kid, we'd have tons of kids that wanting to just go out and kick a ball, juggle a ball,
Yeah.
without any structure,
Absolutely.
just to do it to have fun and be creative, practice moves. So
Yeah.
um,
And
I'm very, very fortunate to have, grown up in this town and in the soccer community, and some of my best friends I met through soccer. So,
now this is not a rehearse question, but the deal is that I used to practice with myself, by myself, with a ball on a wall at my home. And then later, it was just the goalkeeping coach and me, just the two of us, baba boom, baba bang. And I can't tell you, I mean, I could close my eyes and smell the grass and feel the mud on me and everything. Is that those times working out by yourself, were they really enjoyable to you?
oh, definitely, I I loved it. I mean, I'd polish my shoes first, and then go out and juggle or kick it against the wall for hours. I mean, I just didn't, I didn't want to do anything else, for that time period, from, you know, sixth grade on, through high school and college. It was
Yeah.
just, I'd have the soccer, all different team jerseys I'd wear, and I'd watch Soccer Made in Germany with Toby Charles.
Yeah,
You
buddy.
know, that was the only thing on TV at that time for soccer.
Yeah.
It's not like today. I remember going down to Kiel Auditorium to watch the World Cup games
Yeah,
on the
buddy.
on the big screen.
Woo!
Yeah.
It wasn't big to today's standards,
No, no.
but I'll guarantee you, just with that answer, you're in the Whale Certified Hall of Fame. If you polish your shoes before you did the workout, baby, that's a Gallo class and style, brother. That was great, man. Did you use blue or white polish, or did you have the black? What shoes did you have?
I preferred the all black. Yep.
Absolutely.
I think the only options then were black. There was a few pair of whites out there, I think, but there wasn't all these different colors, orange, yellow, green, that you see today.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, that's beautiful, man. Yeah, because that is a memory, man. To polish your shoes, and you would talk to them and to talk to them, and you would think about the game and baba boom, baba bang. Oh man, you know, there's only saying Hail Marys is the only thing. It being 68, boy, I miss those times. So what's custom here at Whale Certified Mike is to say, hey, Mike, whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to, for as long as you want to say it for.
Well, I would just want to tell all the young kids out there that want to aspire to love the game and maybe make it to the professional ranks, to put your cell phones down in your video games and go out in the backyard and juggle and kick against the wall with your right foot and then your left foot, and who knows what could happen.
Right.
Love the game. Play the game because you love it.
Yeah, man.
Not because somebody's forcing you to practice or go to the game.
Right on.
You got to have a passion for it.
Right. I got the goosebumps, man, when you mentioned that, because that's it's not about a whole lot of stuff. It's just doing something that you love. And it doesn't matter if it's raining, doesn't matter if it's whatever it is, how you're feeling, just the you and the ball to have. It's the beautiful game, man. Yeah.
Oh, it's even better if it's raining, Kev. You get to put the studs on.
No! Oh, so what they said about you Hawks are true. You guys used to slide tackle with the.
Yeah, but never studs up. Never
No,
studs
okay,
up.
all right.
No,
Thank you for clarification. But I mean to tell you, you're off the charts, man. And I can't wait to have lunch with you again. You know, bring Holly with you. Bring putts. But, yeah.
will do for sure.
All right.
I'll be playing golf with him tomorrow. I'll tell him.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. So, you know that I know that you know you're in the Wales Certified Hall of Fame. And if anybody's interested, they too can be Wales certified. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate it.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye now.